If you spend your life always trying to be the good one, the nice one, the kind one, the one who never causes problems, of course you're not alone, and I've been there too. But what most people don't realize is always trying to be the good one comes with a very real cost. The cost that don't just affect your emotions, but also your energy, your health, your relationship, your finances, the sense of who you are, and your life in general. And I want to talk about all these things and all this cost in this video, because I was living most of my life with this pattern and I didn't even question it. I was just get used, that's who I was. And with very low self-esteem, very little self-acceptance, with a strong fear of judgment, I didn't even realize how much my life was shaped by the need of approval. But no matter how hard I tried to be the good one and the nice one all the time, there of course still were people who judged me and people who saw me as the bad one. And at some point, I finally started seeing it. I finally realized how much this pattern, the pattern of trying to be the good one, was affecting my life, and how real was the cost that I was paying every day. This realization was not something nice or pleasant. It was shocking. It was very difficult to process, it was very difficult to accept, but thanks to this realization and thanks to many uncomfortable and quite bad situations, I finally start stepping out of it and I start changing. And this is one of the main changes that you can do if you live your life with this pattern. That's why, by sharing with you all this cost, I hope it will help you to have the same realization and to start having enough motivation to finally start changing this pattern. Because once you start changing it, you kind of getting your own life back, and I will explain you how it works. But first, let's talk about all these costs that you may be paying. The first one, of course, is emotional cost, because when we're trying to be the good one, we're suppressing and hiding all the emotions that are considered negative or unacceptable, all frustration, anger, sadness, and even your true needs. Everything can be suppressed. But when you're suppressing them, and when you pretending that you don't feel them or you don't have them, they're not going anywhere, they're not disappearing. You block them, but you still have them in your body. And you may start feeling more like emotionally numb, or maybe more anxious, or even emotionally exhausted, maybe not having enough joy in your life, and maybe not even understanding what you really want. This all comes as a result of constant suppression of your negative emotions and of all your emotional pain. And if you do it regularly, maybe since very early age in your life, then these suppressed emotions slowly start influencing your body. And that's how you arrive to the next cost, which is a physical cost. When we're suppressing a lot of strong emotions, we're not processing or releasing our anger, all the tension, all this strong energy of these negative emotions start influencing our body. We can have a lot of tension, we can have burnouts, we can have chronic fatigue, and like this, your nervous system never really gets a break. It's always under pressure. It's always in a stress mode, in a flight or fight response. And if it happens for long enough, you can start having a dysregulated nervous system, which can't easily shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic mode. Parasympathetic mode is a state of nervous system that helps us to relax and to recover. And I have a full video where I'm explaining how your nervous system can block your motivation, because dysregulated nervous system that drains the energy, that always stay in a stress mode, that always prepared for danger, that always keeps you this tension, using a lot of your energy and resources, and like this you can lose your motivation for big goals, big dreams, for the things that you really want in life. And if you see that that might be your problem, I really recommend you to check this video. When we're always trying to be the nice one, it also has a relationship cost, and this is a big one, because when we're avoiding to be the bad one, when we're avoiding creating problems, when we always want everyone to be happy, we can start creating this tendency to people pleasing. But that is not even the worst part. The worst part is when we get stuck in toxic dynamic in our relationship. Because with a strong need to be the good one, with the avoidance of being judged, we can't really express certain negative emotions, and we can't express our needs, we can't set boundaries. So in the relationship with your partner, you can become the one who is always trying to please your partner. So when they tell you something that they're not happy about, that you're wrong, that you're doing something that should not be done, or you should do things differently, you don't question much what they're saying. You start questioning yourself. Something is wrong with me. My feelings are wrong. My emotions are wrong. My values are wrong. My desires are wrong. So you start changing yourself. And even in some moments, you even may realize that maybe they did something wrong, and you even feel that you're not happy, that you need to say something. You can't, because you can't express these negative emotions. You can't say that you're making me unhappy. You can't say that I don't want this, I don't need this, I need something different. And like this, you can be stuck in the toxic cycle in your relationship. And I'm not just saying this, I lived this for many years in my past, and fortunately I was able to change it. And I made a video about how toxic relationship actually forced me to start the healing and to start learning self-acceptance and self-love, and how from these dynamics I slowly arrived to a healthy relationship and a happy marriage that I have now. If you want to check it, I will link it. The next one is financial and work-related cost, because when we trying to be the good one, we can also have quite low self-esteem, and we can't say when something doesn't feel right. So we can accept low-paid job. We also can accept a lot of additional responsibilities and unfair workloads, because when someone comes to us with this additional work or some additional responsibilities, we can't really say no. We avoid conflicts and we trying to please others. And while we're doing much more, we're not able to ask for money for this job. So you can end up in a situation that you're doing a lot of work, but you're still not getting much money. And that's what actually was going on with me. Another situation can be that you actually find a way for your career, for your financial growth, you're making money, you may be successful, but then for some reason all your money are going for something else. There's always someone or something that needs your money, and you may end up in a situation that even you're making them, you don't really use it for yourself. Maybe you don't allow yourself to rest, to enjoy, you don't allow yourself pleasure. So still a lot of work, but kind of without benefits and results for you. But the deepest cost is when you lose yourself and your life direction. Because when you're living for someone else's approval, when you live to try to make happy everyone else but not yourself, all your energy, all your time, all your life is wasted for these other people, but not for yourself. If you're not the one who will find and uncover what your real desires, what your real values, what do you want to achieve in life, how you want your life to be, no one else will do this for you. And you're trying very hard to make others people happy. You're doing something not because you want, but just not to be judged, just to be perceived as a nice one and a good one. You may be doing something to help someone else, to fulfill needs of someone else, but with years you can start noticing that all these people that you're pleasing, they're shaping their own life in their own direction. They do what they want, while you may be going nowhere, because today you're doing something that this person wants, tomorrow what someone else wants, or later you're doing something just because you don't want to be judged, or more often you don't allow yourself to do what you really want because you're afraid to be judged, because someone disapproves you. And you can be already in a state that you don't even really know what you want, or maybe you know, but you're hiding it so deep inside because you never allowed yourself to feel this. All your real desires can be blocked. But from these desires and from our own values and needs, we can create these big goals and big dreams in our direction. If you wasted years to live for everyone else around but not for yourself, you may notice that you don't even know who you really are, what is important to you, and what do you want from your life. And I'm saying all these things now not to upset you, not to make you feel bad. I'm telling all these things because at one point in my life, this realization helped me to start a real change. And maybe now, if you see yourself in all these things that I'm describing, and you may even start feeling a bit disappointed and not knowing what to do and thinking about of the energy time that was wasted, but there is still a good thing about it. If you see this now, it means that you can start finally change it. And I'm the proof that it's possible to change. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it doesn't change in one day, but once you saw it and once you made a decision, you can change it. And there are certain things that can help you in this. Because when you created this pattern of being the good one, it usually happens very early in our childhood. When we're judged a lot for certain emotions, for certain things that we're doing that are not acceptable, because we're causing problems, we create certain defense mechanism. It's actually a survival strategy, because as a children we need our parents to love us and to accept us, because like this we will survive. So we create this pattern, the strategy to be a good one, to be approved, to be loved, to be accepted, and then it just stays with us as something normal. But when we're doing it, we kind of denying, blocking and deleting certain parts of ourselves that have maybe negative emotions, that have their real desires, or some other parts that just were not approved by your parents. And all these parts, you're not accepting them. And the first step to start changing it is to start to learn self-acceptance and self-love. And I have very powerful video about self-acceptance, because that is something that for me was so healing, to find these parts, to find these emotions, to find these feelings and start seeing them, accepting it, and also processing all these emotions. So I will link this video here, and if you want, just by watching it, you can already feel a certain shift, because I'm talking there from a certain state, a state of this unconditional self-acceptance. If you will watch it, if you will take it with you, if you will start using it, it will be already healing, and it will help you to start getting out from this pattern. The other thing that may be happening, that with all this judgment and all the suppression that you had in childhood, you can have accumulated a lot of guilt. The guilt for your feelings, for your emotions, for your desires, and even it can be the guilt just for the fact of your existence. I had this kind of guilt. That's why I made another video about how unconscious guilt can block your happiness and how it can direct punishment to your life. If you watch this video, there are also a lot of helpful insights, and I'm sharing certain things that can help you to start processing this guilt, releasing it, and start become closer also to self-love and self-acceptance. And this can really help you to step out from this pattern of trying always to be the good one. If you watched this video till here, thanks you for watching. I hope it was helpful. Write me in the comments if you see that some of these calls that I'm mentioning, you notice that you really have them in your life, that you paying this price. And share also if this video inspired you to finally start doing something about this pattern. And you can also subscribe to my channel, because a lot of my content actually about this emotional healing, about self-love, about personal growth and self-development. Everything that can help you to come closer to your true self, to discover what is there, what you really want, and start changing your life, finding different direction and moving your life and yourself in this direction that you really want and you really desire.